Hey everybody, PSV60, back for more of Turok 2, and we are very deep into the Mantid ship. And that sniper that we killed at the end of last episode is back. I guess we took a little too long of a nap in there, and they ended up replacing him once they found his legless and headless corpse. That one that they replaced him with is a pretty good shot, and has some really strong eyesight. Not as good as our scope, though. Speaking of scope, I don't think we're going to be able to get that second guy. So let's peek around the edge and see if we can take out some of the soldiers that are down here. They're a little bit harder to headshot than the drones, as I was saying before, for the same reason that the boars have trouble getting to their heads. They've just got this huge armored carapace arcing up over their back and covering the top of their heads. Let's do a little underwater exploration. Because we're not done with the soldiers that are down here yet. There's at least another 2 or 3. Including that guy that we could barely see. Since sniping on the water is kind of difficult, let's just bore him to death. He looks sufficiently bored. Boar can't quite see that drone up there. The boar, however, can see that soldier on the water. Let's get a little closer. There we go. I am easily the most boring hunter these guys have ever met. I make everybody bored. Oh god. Oh, I broke it. No. How long is this gonna go on for? Now let's run into this underwater tunnel. Maybe we can get away from the source of it. Nope. Well, we needed to come under here anyway, as there is the force field generator we were looking for. Maybe once this boar goes away, it'll get rid of the sound effect? Nope. I've never actually encountered this before. Oh, thank God that worked.
Force field down.
Bringing back horrible memories of the same thing that you could do with a particle accelerator from Turok 1. If you fully charge it up and jump into a teleporter. You just hear the particle accelerator charging forever. It's awful. Let's go back and take a look behind those force field doors. Because it's been quite a while, and we still haven't accomplished any of the objectives that Ada gave us. I mean, we found both the Flesh Eater portal and the Talisman Chamber, as well as 2 new guns so far. But none of those are the reason why we're here. Well, I mean, the guns are the reason why we're here, but not the reason why Adon said we should be here. And I want to keep that little hologram happy, as she's nice enough to save my games and give me health and ammo if I need it. which we haven't had to use yet. But that doesn't mean I never will. Did a mite just come out of that thing's head? Maybe I destroyed an egg in here. I'm gonna pretend the mite came out of his head. It's just funnier that way to me. Yeah, looks like that drone took out that last worker for us. Well, we know how to handle drones. Oh, worker revolt. Let me help you out with that a little bit, buddy, if I can. There you go. Just work out all that workplace stress and frustration. Oops. Well, I was trying to take out your boss first, but, whatever. Another force field generator. And a ceiling turret. Let's take out the ceiling turret first. These things have always come in at least pairs, so I'm gonna guess there's a second one too. If not a third and fourth as well. Now there's the second. I don't think you can headshot these things anywhere. But it does look like it takes less shots if you get them somewhere near the neck. And it also looks like those were the only two guns. This is a lot of force field generators. And taking them out seems to spawn in some drones. Good to know. Only certain ones will spawn in drones. Maybe it's every other one. Nope. I guess this is just something you have to know ahead of time. Some spawn in drones, some don't. That one did not. No. There's the prize-winning one. No, we've only got one left. Ooh. That was nice. Didn't give us any pickups for taking it out, but we'll make use of this ammo and health spawner that are in here. Let's get out of here before we, before anything else warps in.
Scorpion missile launcher.
Oh. I feel that is an appropriate reaction for picking up this gun. We're starting to get to endgame territory now, so of course they're going to give us some endgame weapons. I don't want to use that thing all the way up before it gets something proper to use it on. Because you've just seen we only have 3 missiles in it. But the Scorpion missile launcher, let's say at the very least for now, that the Scorpion missile launcher is Turok 2's version of the quad rocket. You'll see what I mean as soon as we find something sufficiently large enough to use it on. Which shouldn't be too long, considering we've been seeing soldiers pretty prevalently for a little while now. And it looks like we've only got one way to go. Which, had we not taken down that shield generator, we couldn't really get any farther than this. I mean, we really don't have to worry about force fields for the rest of the level now. But, yeah, we couldn't go beyond, really beyond this room if we hadn't taken out that force field generator. And we're definitely want to come back here before we go down the other path. As down here is our third key, which will immediately be closed off to us because the Mantid are dicks. You guys are dicks. Give me your plasma. Oh, more workers. Let's, get to high ground. Well, I was hoping this would help me fight them, possibly by keeping out of their range. But it at least lets us get a good view of one of these guys. Before we put 3 between his eyes. Now let's show off the Scorpion launcher. It locks onto stuff kinda sorta how... Oh, that was just a beautiful sight to behold. It locks onto stuff similar to how the Cerebral Bore locks onto enemies. However, the Scorpion launcher's less picky about its targets. As long as it is a target, the Scorpion launcher will just lock onto it. It doesn't have to be smart enough for it to find. It just has to exist. And be not a corpse. The Mantids built their own funhouse in their ship, apparently. That, or we're walking through one of their turbines. I'm just gonna pretend this is a funhouse. It's definitely got that weird vertigo effect. Oh, that was fun. Anyhow, something else that you'll have noticed as a difference between the Scorpion launcher and the quad rocket launcher. The Scorpion launcher fired 3 missiles, but our ammo count only went down by 1. Kind of a nice change, I think, because it's a lot easier to judge how many missiles you've got left. And if you'll also notice, only one of those missiles hit the soldier, which means we get 3 missiles, but we only really need 1 to take out the strongest enemies in the second to the last level of the game. The Scorpion launcher is quite powerful. And if you haven't noticed by now, our environment has changed quite a bit. The walls look less computerized and significantly more organic since we came out of that last teleporter.
Grenade launcher.
We're not on the ship anymore. We're on the Mantid's homeworld. And that hole in the wall that these mites just dropped out of is gonna be a problem, because it's just gonna keep spitting mites. So let's see if we can seal it. Which, yes, we can. both those mites seem kind of perturbed. As long as you can get some kind of explosive in there to go far enough back, and you see that, that 10 health drop from the hole in the wall, you know you've taken out the spawner for the mites. Once that 10 health falls down, no more mites will come out of that hole in the wall. Now you will have these ones like that on the floor, like what I was standing next to, but nothing ever comes out of those ones. Just the ones that are attached to the wall. It doesn't really look like this is a natural flowing ecosystem, I guess I'll say. Have to remember that that full health's up there. I mean, I don't really want to go back up and get it for 4 health. We can get to it by going up this way. But, no, well, 7 health now. We're just going to keep in mind that it's up here. And clear the pathway in case we need to come back and get it in a hurry. Because I don't really have any reason to pick it up right now. It's just not going to be worth it. Anyhow, back to what I was saying before. It looks like all of these tunnels and structures are... Aside from that tree there, maybe even the tree. It looks like they're all created by the Mantids. I mean, most of this doesn't particularly look like it's natural forming. I mean, maybe it does. Maybe their rocks break apart slightly differently than ours do. Considering it's an alien environment, it could have, frankly, alien properties. But it does look like it has been made by the Mantids. I mean, we've got these things sticking out of the wall that are creating new mites. We've got what looks to be track lighting running across the ceiling, some kind of bioluminescence at least. And then we've got these structures holding up transparent glowing, well, maybe not glowing. Transparent at the very least walkways. It can't be natural forming. Or naturally formed, rather. At least they're solid enough for us to walk on. So that's kind of nice. I'm hurting for charge dart rounds again. Nah, it's not going to help any. Might have to start rationing these things out. Well, onward for now, I guess. Oh, more eggs. I mean, I like eggs as much as the next guy, but I'm getting a little sick of scrambling them. I mean, bugs can't lay that many eggs, right? Or at least, not until we find the queen. Now, I know normally I wait until I'm down far enough that I can get the full amount out of a health pickup, but these ones that drop from here, considering that they spawn out of thin air, and they're not pre-placed in the level, if you don't pick them up, they just vanish after a little while. Kind of like what happened back in the Lair of the Blind Ones with those exploding barrels and the ammo within. Oh, this is another candidate for the Scorpion Launcher. Locked on. And Turok's variable damage seems to have struck again, as that guy took all 3 missiles before he went down. Now, at the very least, the Scorpion Launcher isn't really a bad gun to walk around with, since the lock-on feature will let you know if something's lurking out in the darkness before you get there. Provided it's not behind a wall or anything like that. What is this thing running in circles for? And what am I doing trying to shoot it? Oh, that was just poorly planned in all directions. Something warped in. There it is, it's back there. That's how you can use the Scorpion Launcher to scout ahead. Nothing back here, it looks like. Nope, just another one of these things. Frankly, mites don't really do enough damage that I'm going to care if they're jumping and nipping at my ankles as I try to take out their, nest. They really are just bug versions of compies. Oh, thank God I got more charge darts. Now, these eggs look a little different. Wonder what makes these eggs so special. Now, the large ones still contain mites. And 2 drones just warped in, it sounded like. Now, if you were paying close attention during the intro cinematic for the level, which we've seen now several episodes ago, you might recognize the walls in this area and know that we are close to one of the queen embryos. Which is also why I'm trying to be semi-quiet. Because I don't want to have too many of these guys on my tail. Oh, tell me that didn't just go around him like that. It's gotta be that I'm a bad shot. Anyhow, back in here is where we'll find the queen embryo. And this thing has a huge amount of health and will continuously spawn in drones while you're trying to take it out. The flamethrower and your firestorm cannon are probably going to be your best bets against it. As there were 2 drones in here waiting, and by the time it took us to take those out, she summoned in another one. And this is just the embryo, not even a real full queen. So we take out the force field that's around her, or armored mesh, I guess, at which point we can knock her off of her perch, and she's on the ground. From here, the queen can't really do anything. I mean, to be fair, the queen couldn't really do anything before. So we could just take her out. And then the drones will stop spawning in.
Full health.
We do get a full health for every queen we take out. So it does kind of balance itself out a bit in the end. Considering the amount of drones that are likely going to get spawned in while we're there plugging away at the queen, you're gonna need that full health. The Firestorm Cannon's also good to use, considering that each of the drones is going to drop 30 plasma rounds. You don't really have to worry about switching to a different weapon. The Flamethrower, however, is quite effective on her. The PFM layer might not be too bad as well. You can more or less litter the entirety of the area that you're... What am I hitting with these shots? I don't understand. Oh. I guess that's higher than it looks. Anyhow, you can line the hallway that you're standing in with mines, just in case some of the drones get their way, find their way over towards you. The mines will pretty much take care of them. Another 10 health.
Firestorm Cannon.
And a soldier! Let's use our last trio of rockets on you. Now, I really wish you could bounce enemies in this game like you could in Turok 1. Just makes everything so much more entertaining. I'm not really sure what just shot at us. Is he up top? Oh no, he's right behind us. And now we've got mites too. Or no, workers. I never quite noticed they had the same sound effects. I guess there's no harm in it. They did pack a pretty huge amount of content into this this old N64 game. Maybe a little too much considering it was the first one that could make use of the expansion pack. At least I think it was the first one. Can't remember if this or Donkey Kong 64 came out first. I know Donkey Kong 64 had the expansion pack packaged in with it. But that doesn't mean it was the first one released. No, we've got ground under us, thankfully, because I don't think I can quite make the jump to that walkway. Oh, and we get 4 Scorpion rockets. Which, again, going off of that simplified ammo system, means 4 shots out of the Scorpion missile launcher. So, 12 rockets, technically? Oh, you found a soldier that time. Never know what hit him. We're like a ghost. Although it looks like that was the last guy on the ground floor. Not the last guy in the area, though. Health's getting a little bit low for my tastes. we'll have to come back to that shortly. And I didn't know this originally when I got here, but that wall isn't a switch wall. That wall is a wall that you can blow up, even though it doesn't look like it. And here, I believe we have health and ammo spawners, if we choose to use them. We've also got a trap.
Your health is dangerously low.
But we're too good of a hunter to let that trap stop us. So for now, we're going to take a brief break.
Greetings, Turok. How may I assist you?
And we're going to continue the hunt next time.
Game saved.
Thanks for watching.